African leaders towards us getting more access for people who are not having it as at the moment? So let's start with that.
Well, I think that the fact that Africa is able to pull together for such a summit like this at a time like this is very commendable. Mission 300 million people in Africa to have affordable access to energy in 2030. Very ambitious, but also it's also doable. And why is that? Because you have several sources beyond the hydro. You have also the solar, you also have the wind, and of course you have the new green hydrogen. Those are alternative sources. And then you talk about gas. With the enormous deposits that we have of gas, with the natural tropical sunlight, solar energy, it is time that Africa came together to pull all of this together to give accessible power to its people. And I think it's very timely. We have the big donors here, the World Bank. We have the Ford Foundation is also here. We have AFDB here. And you can also look at what they're doing. The G5 solar energy power that they're doing is $10 billion funded by the World Bank and AFDB. That's ongoing. It's called the G5 Sahel Solar Power. And I think from here, we're going to get that same concerted effort that will dovetail into the financing that is needed. 5 years looks like really tight, but sometimes when you get the journey started, you can get that journey accelerated, and then you can get to where you want to get, your target.
With all modesty, Nigeria stands to be very important in Africa when it comes to issues like this. So how is Nigeria leveraging this platform to energize the sector and to even show up what the president is trying to do without being at the risk of preempting the speech of the president for tomorrow? What do you think Nigeria is taking out?
We have something on the table already from President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. You know about the Siemens project initiative that was initiated under the previous administration, President Muhammadu Buhari. We've seen how President Bola Tinubu has come in with an accelerated phase of the Siemens initiative, moving it from 5,000 to a higher capacity. We've also seen the fact that the efforts being made for solar energy, for clean energy, under this same president. And I'm sure it's just not here just for the fun of it. Mr. President will announce a very dynamic, compact initiative coming from Nigeria that will help to push this agenda forward. So we should expect that. But you've seen a president that is focused on energy. He said it severally, that one of the greatest inventions of man is electricity. And no country in this world can develop if it lacks the requisite energy. Now we're moving to several other alternative sources. And I think that Nigeria is doing the right things. Nigeria needs the right partners. You see other countries get international funding and backing. We need these partners to support Nigeria from this point.
Ask the funding, can you please expatiate? Is it grants or some kind of investment in the sector by these multilateral institutions?
Well, I think this summit will unbundle that. Very often, you know, the nature of such funding is mixed. It's a mixed bag. Part of it will be grant, part of it will be soft loan with very low interest rates. Part of that will also be capacity building, and then you know the experience that the experts will bring, the capacity they will bring, the training they will bring. That also matters. Everything is not, you know, the dollar figure. It's about the expertise and all of that will come together. And I think part of this, you've seen the FDB president, you've seen the World Bank group here. You know, just imagine over 20 presidents from Africa here. So you know that right now, on the top drawer of almost all African countries is the question of energy. How do we generate enough energy? And there are 4 key things there, or 3. When it comes to energy provision, for people in Africa especially, you talk about affordability, accessibility, sustainability, three, let me say three. Just three are really critical. And whatever energy plan that comes out of this summit must strike off these three core areas. And I'm happy these are the pillars of the energy policy of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu: sustainability, affordability, and accessibility. Critical.
Nigeria, of course, with its population, also contributes significantly to that population in Africa that are still under electrified, or not electrified yet. So sometimes this funding are not total. There's also counterpart funding. We've seen this kind of projects start up in not just Nigeria and African countries. And then when it comes to that counterpart funding, providing it, that political will is not there. What's that assurance or guarantee from this administration to say that, yes, we know that the global community now is paying attention to the issue of providing electrifying Africa, but Nigeria is also ready to play its part where and when it matters the most?
Well, I think what's important, what you find here from most presidents, because they will be speaking at the compact session, is that each president is expected to present the plan they have for energy development in their countries. And also in doing that, create or open up areas that these counterpart funding and big international partners can come in and plug in. And I can say that I think under President Tinubu, we've seen a very robust policy, robust and dynamic, in the sense that you see the expansion of the sources of energy, which we are not paying attention to. It's always been the hydro, then the thermal. We see more attention on solar. We see more attention on the green hydrogen, which is pretty new, but we can still do it. But also we see the building of international partners. Even before we got here, already we have these international partners working with us. I know that coming in from the AFDB and the other group is a 75 billion naira that will go to REA. I think that's already in the bag. But I think what's important is you look at a president who has been in the saddle for 19 months. You see, each time he has gone out, he has come back with not just promises, but also solid commitments for foreign direct investments in various sectors. Look at what happened in Brazil. Look at what's happening to agriculture and a few other areas. This is a president who is able to make a pitch for his country, a president who is able to win a deal, a president who is convincing on his plan for the country when it comes to energy and when it comes to the entire economic development of the country.
Thank you, sir.
Did I answer your question?
Yes.